Lecture is scenario a complete film dramaturgical work. It must contain a complete, consistent, and specific description of the plot, consisting of developed scenes and episodes, dialogues, and revealed characters. Lecture is screenplay regardless of genre, form, and stylistic features, and must meet the performance requirements of cinema. Lecture screenplay it's almost always the following standard layout of the blocks: time and place of action, description of the action, the name of the hero, replica of the hero, remark, and title. Later forms scenario primarily dictated by the characteristics of the production of the final product, the movie. Any later script of the film, regardless of genre, can be divided into the next parts: exposure, where the viewer gets acquainted with the main character or characters, a world in which the characters live, time and place; eyeballs, the first event where the hero or heroes fall into the most dramatic situation which will lead to a complication. Complication, the event after which the hero or heroes are forced to do any act. Vicissitudes, the biggest part of the movie when the characters are faced with obstacles that are overcome. Climax, the highest boiling point when it seems that there's nowhere. Isolation, alone in a dramatic situation. And final, happy end, philosophical arguments of heroes, event that displays a new round and others. There are four main components to rate or rental options: movie theme, mood, movie format, target audience. The first two parameters are used for advertising, the second two usually rendered in the note to the film. To write a good script is not necessarily to be Dostoevsky. There is no need to own a masterly speech and have a huge literary talent. You only need to have good ideas. Perhaps so many great ideas die not voiced only because of the fact that their speakers are not good writers. But the movie gives you the ability to project their dreams to reality differently than literature. Logline it's one or two sentences that tell all about your history and can be used as a means of double checking while writing the script. You'll have to develop every word of these few lines into a successful screenplay. A good logline: four key elements: protagonists, your hero; antagonists, your bad guy or obstacle; conflict, which stops the hero; and open ending, what happens. Logline should consist of no more than 25 words that can convey the essence of stories without further details. There are three basic formulas for writing loglines. First, the main character which has a problem is to achieve a purpose to solve this problem. Example: the movie The Fugitive with Harrison Ford. The main character, famous doctor. Problem: wrongly convicted for the murder of his wife. Purpose: escapes from prison to find and expose the real killer. The protagonist pursues a certain goal, but on his way there's a serious obstacle. Example: the movie The Mummy. The protagonist, archaeologist. Purpose: trying to find the treasure hidden in one of the great pyramids. Obstacle: forced to fight with thousands of mummies guarding the pyramid. An event causes the protagonist to face a serious obstacle resulting in the unexpected. Example: the movie Liar Liar. Event: the child makes a wish to. The main character, his father, a successful lawyer. Obstacle: stop lying within 24 hours of told the truth. And result: the desire. The kid magically come true. Another pattern is, if possible, of all of the following elements: the protagonist, its main drawback, call of destiny, life-changing event that changed the life of the protagonist, the enemy, friends, and the battle. Top loglines reflect both the outer and inner sides of the story, the plot and moral values, the external actions of the hero and his inner emotional life. The main drawback: flaw hero. This is what prevents him from adequately responding to the call of destiny. The challenge is to get the hero to choose between his character flaws and the new opportunity that life provides. Example: Spielberg film E.T. Docile diffident boy met representatives of extraterrestrial civilizations, finds the courage to challenge the authorities to help an alien return to his home planet. Example: Rocky. Boxer with the mentality of a failure gets a chance to become champion of the world, coming to the ring against the current champion. With the help of his beloved, Boxer has to believe in yourself and your strength before he can enter the ring. Example: Casablanca. A cynical cafe owner located in Nazi-occupied Morocco meets his former lover, which arrives accompanied by her husband, whose heroism forced to choose between their hero's cynicism, unquenchable love, and almost lost a sense of patriotism. A few simple principles of writing a successful screenplay. The main thing to choose the right plot. It must be original to the same extent as the original cake that bakes on a favorite recipe of your mother for the past 30 years. Audiences love getting old tastes with a new sauce or with a new feeling. Choosing the main hero of the film is no less important. If it is a goodie, then it must be at least one drawback. For example, he hates bananas or forever walks with untied laces. In this case, comparing himself to the hero, the audience will not feel slighted. In turn, the villain should inspire at least a shred of sympathy. For example, he cannot love bananas and his shoelaces always right. The character added to the film half the battle. It should be a surprise, but not so much that the viewer felt like an idiot. Do not expect such a possibility within 90 minutes of the film. Rule 1. Not only still lives. Do not indulge in long description of things or the interior. The scenery will still do the artist and the reader has the imagination. Most often the phrases bedroom, meter, morning is enough. You walk briefly and vividly describe the actions of the characters and write their dialogue. Rule 2. Detail. Sometimes you have to give detail. For example, bedroom, meter, morning. The floor is strewn expensive lingerie. Or bedroom, meter, morning. On the wall hang photos of dogs of war. Please note that these details make the nature of the character. These are two different media. Rule 3. Hide description. Description can be hidden in the action. Bedroom, meter, morning. Meter pulls his feet with my grandmother's tattered couch and comes in a white silk bra. The reader focuses on Meter and he is not boring to read hidden description couches and a bra. Rule 4. Cost mail. Cost letter describe the action at the same time the interior and the characters as shown in the previous tip. Write economically is a qualification of the writer. Fulfilling this, imagine that you will be sending a script telegram and every word is worth $2. $2. Rule 5. Filter the words. The first draft of the script you can write a method of brainstorming. In this case, the paper splashed out all the words that come to mind, but then the script is rewritten and selected one of the five. The reader is supplied only a filtered version. Rule 6. More particular synonym. Try every scene replace common verbs or nouns of their more specific synonyms. Rule 7. But I need to describe this place. Well, if the artist will decide how it will look, the writer has the right to describe how the characters are feeling. But do not get carried away with it. You are writing a script, not a romance novel. Rule 8. Trails. All poetry trails at your disposal. Metaphors, similes, scenic doha, etc. Just do not get carried away. Trails need to walk on a script that is ultimately at escapism of reader and not to show your originality. To paraphrase Hemingway, a good script is like an iceberg, 7/8 of which is hidden under the water. Rule 9. Rule 4 lines. No action should take in the script for more than 4 lines. If the scene is not less than a page, break it blank lines. 4 lines space, 4 lines space. This is called getting rid of blacks. Rule 10. Watch it. Another way to break up the long scene, insert a page at least one replica of the character, even if it is a cry of watch out or bugger. Rule 11. Even faster. Leave the description of funny water sounds, for example, booms or chattering. Use one-word sentence like the shot or silence. Try to have one sentence in a paragraph. Rule 12. Character description. Think of the characters as short, succinct, and not without humor description. For example, that brunette secretary in the office left on the Falcon, or stocky middle-aged subject looks like a shaved baboon. Rule 13, even faster. Eat vigorous action description, not Mitya tries to pet her and it seems to walk out, and Mitya abruptly puts his hand on her breast. Less commas, fewer words, who and who. Get enough points. Write confidently. You have to put the reader before the fact. He read discreet man who knows that he's talking about. Rule 14. Turn the page. Loris creeps up and Martel says specifically added an empty string or cleaning something that the moment of suspense counts at the end of page. You can specifically feel suspense at the end of the page. For example, Mitya included, anybody yet? Suddenly he hears footsteps. Turn page. From the kitchen goes bald assassin. Page turn. As switching between programs on the channel, it is a very crucial moment. And Rule 15. Cut. Remove the words. Remove the adjectives and adverbs. Mercilessly, mercilessly. And how much and but may be deleted without prejudice to the script. Cross out proposal despite the fact that you wrote it. Remember, the script should be fit. Of course, I'm sorry, and do not mind if the reader will throw to read on the second page. Rule 16. And finally, the most important. Writing a script similar to haiku. You have a limited number of words to create a picture, so imagine the scene. Now pay attention to the distinctive features of the terrain which distinguish it from other places. Write down a list of features that distinguish this area. There are things that are exposed in the terrain and carry it into the active part of your history. Now gather all the bright, distinctive features and try in the same sentence to describe this area. Some of the words may combine the description of the area and the people living on it. Pick the words that not only have their own meaning but also bear the idea and image. Not just words but the right words. If you feel that the scenario can be slightly cut back on, work on it chainsaw. Most of you are so in love with the words that you're not ready for a serious contraction. Remember, your script should not be too boring or too spectacular. The dynamics of the plot are how to get people to not fall asleep in the cinema. I allow myself to draw some very simple diagrams of how I believe can develop the plot. So, the axis T, time of the film, the axis Y, intensive events. The points 1 and 2 is the point of losing interest in the film. The above point 1 and point 2 below, people never remember that happening at this point in the film. Schemes can be masked, but in my opinion can portray the foremost characteristic. First, call it stands up. What do we see? The dynamics of waves, as if the writer occasionally pricked the needle in the ass and he remembered that it is necessary to add activities or events in the film. Most likely at the lowest points of the activity we are too tight or do not carry the meaning of the dialogue, but the low points do not intersect the axis too. The film ends with an average height and everything's normal. In general, many of the films are built that way. Figure 2 does not truthfully call it how not to. With such films usually leave the theater not until the end of the inspection. Easy to push in the beginning and quiet attenuation with sepulchral dialogue and the complete absence of events. Figure 3, it can be called God Game. Around every corner you are waiting for a sneaky special effect. Every minute is lived without a machine gun spent in vain. During the shooting or fighting aliens or something verbally, heroes put on you this amount of unnecessary information that the ears could not help, while reader and attention is turned off, leaving only hope for a speedy end to the torment. The film ends as high for one point, no one even knows where. Come to the point, scheme 4. Let's give her a fair name Ideal. If you do so, you can assume that everything's fine. Now you no longer have to prick with the needle recalling the protracted scene. Now you cool screenwriter. By bringing the story to a new level, you cannot give it to fall and keep straight on until the next climb, and definitely have time to finish the film before it has reached the point 1.